Welcome back, lovely pot coven. We are here with another fantastic episode block for your listening pleasures. We will be diving into a lot of energy work this go around. So grab your grimoires, grab your journals, get a trustworthy pen, and let's take some notes. First, we're going to be starting out with lovely Jasmine, and she'll tell us what we'll be talking about here in a moment. Um, Ella, why don't you tell us what you're up to right now?
Oh, so many things. No, I'm just kidding. I'm pretty much chilling, doing my same thing. Please come check out my shop, thecelestialrose.ecwid.com. And you can also find me on Instagram at the.celestial.rose. I'm trying to be a little more what you call active, I guess. I've started making videos again. My phone let me re-download TikTok, so I'm I'm like 1,000 shades of stoked on that. Um, yeah, so come see me and like my stuff and buy my pretty vintage items and my smoke bundles. Jasmine, what you up to?
Well, I have just launched signups for my new Back to Basics Astrology Masterclass series. I'm super stoked for this because, I love astrology. I mean, duh, of course. Who doesn't these days? But I'm really excited for this masterclass series because it is a Back to Basics series. That's exactly what I titled it. It's 4 classes. So if you're listening to this on the launch date or close to when this episode launched, the very first class is going to be live on the 14th, and we are talking about the planets. But the way I do all my master classes is that they're evergreen. So when you sign up, there's always a replay available, and you've got that for life. You can watch it whenever you want to watch it. You can come back to it as many times as you want. It's always there for you. So even if you're listening to this later, it's still going to be available for you to come back to it, sign up. So yeah, I'm going to be doing 4 different classes on planets, signs, houses, and aspects. And what's fun about it is you can sign up for one class or you can sign up for all of them. The bundle, of course, is going to save you like $100. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. Jess, what are you up to?
So I have officially gone through a name change and rebranding, and I am now the Cloak of Love, the self-projected love activator.
I love it.
TM. So mostly I'm just still doing like business tarot readings, any kind of energetic tarot readings really, and one-on-one coaching sessions. And then I am going to be re-releasing my Empath 101 course in a new and updated platform on my website. So I'm looking forward to releasing that. I don't have any dates on it yet, so just keep your eyes peeled. And on that note, Jasmine, what do you have for us?
Yes, welcome to our spiritual hygiene episode block. So I'm starting us out with grounding. So first and foremost, what is grounding? Grounding is connecting us. Really, I mean, think about the word, like it's connecting us to the ground. Like energetically, when I think of the word grounding, like it pulls me downward. And that's really the point of grounding. So, why is grounding important? Like, why is this something we do? Why is it an important thing to have in our grimoire? Why is it an important thing to have in our practice? Um, a lot of spiritual work, a lot of things that we do in witchcraft is spent in spirit energy, in the astral realm, in the third eye, in the crown chakra. It's in that space that is sometimes outside of our body, in a different plane. And so grounding is important because it helps bring us back into this physical realm. It helps ground us back into our bodies, because when we spend too much time up there, when we spend too much time out of our body, it can um, have negative effects on us. It is really beautiful to spend a lot of time outwards, with spirit. But it can cause anxiety. It can cause stress. It can cause a whole myriad of things. It can kind of shock your system. It can help you. It can make you forget who you are sometimes, which can, that is also a part of spiritual work. We want to disconnect sometimes from this idea of like, I am, Jasmine Wolf, because at the end of the day, like, I am her right now, but also I'm not her. But grounding helps bring us back into this physical body, and really helps connect us to a really level-headed practice. And yeah, it really just roots you down, keeps you safe. I think that's a good way. I think that's why it's important. It really keeps you safe. Yeah. So, one thing I just wanted to mention is that we are here to have a human experience, right? So we're here to have a human experience, and that's also why grounding is important. We wouldn't be incarnated in these physical bodies if we weren't meant to spend time in these physical bodies. So that's another reason why grounding is so important. We are supposed to feel what it's like to be in these bodies. We are supposed to feel what it's like to have these identities. And so we are, if you're listening to this, you are having a spiritual experience. You are a witchy person. You are meant to be on this journey. So you are meant to travel on the astral plane and all that jazz, but you are meant to also ground down and root down into being a human. So let's talk about grounding a little bit now. So anything can be grounding if it helps us connect back to the earth or connect back to our body. So what I want to talk about a little bit is mindfulness. Like, mindfulness is really the key, and anything can be done mindfully, and if we're doing anything mindfully, it can be grounding work. So mindfulness is kind of like the opposite of what we consider traditional meditation. I think a lot of times when we're first learning about meditation, not even when we're first learning about meditation, I think a lot of times before we learn about meditation, we assume that it is when we're sitting there and there's nothing going on in our head. And that can be helpful. It can be helpful. I try to do it sometimes, I call it my brain kegels. I see how long I can not think a thought. Just to remind my brain that I am in control, okay? To remind my thoughts that I'm in control, But mindfulness is being really present, just being really fully engaged in this present moment. So it's not living in the past. It's not thinking about the future. It's being really fully here. So some of my tips for connecting to the present moment. So this first one we can all practice right now together. If you're listening to this podcast and you're not like driving or riding a bike or, watching the kids right now, if you're able to, sit back and engage with this right now, then please do this with us. First and foremost, let's just take a moment. Let's all be quiet and see what you can hear. Like, really try and hear as much as possible just for a few moments with us. I always love to see like how far away I can hear something, you know? I can hear like cars that are just like blocks and blocks away, maybe like someone talking super far away.
I try to hear in layers and like gauge like how far out, or I'll try to like, okay, hear the sounds that are closest to me and then go like, yeah, kind of like brain kegels, ear kegels. You're like, okay, do it a little and now do it more and now do it more.
Yes, yes. I love it. I love it. You know, of course, I just first heard the hum of my computer, but even that, you know, that checks that connects you in because that's white noise, and you're not always present thinking about that. But you know, just checking in and reminding yourself that there are so many things that you just like you just kind of check out of. So many sounds that you're constantly hearing, but you just kind of click them off in your mind because you don't need to pay attention to them. But there are so many things that you're constantly picking up on. So that's a good one that you can just, yeah, it's a quick one you can do, especially if you're just, yeah, sitting at your desk, kind of stressing out. You can close your eyes, take a couple deep breaths, and just see, okay, what can I hear right now? And that's going to just snap you real quick back into the present moment and remind you, oh, I'm right here. I'm in the office. Yeah, I'm surrounded by these people. Or, you know, if you're sitting in just your quiet home office like me, you can be like, oh, I'm in a city. There's people out there. There's cars. Oh, there's a siren. I heard a helicopter. That one was very loud.
Chickens.
Oh, that's fun.
My mind picks up on all of like the little hummy, buzzy electronic sounds. Like I can hear the refrigerator and the computer and the different things that are running all over. And oftentimes for me, like it gets so overwhelming because there's all of these little teeny tiny noises. And then there's all of the big ones out around you too. And all of just it adding up. Which for me is why it's so important to have these energy practices.
Yes. Because it can be a lot. It can. It can. Yeah. So I mean, we're going to go through all of them, but the next one I'm going to do is we're going to take a moment and we're going to be silent again. And I want you to see like how much you can feel right now. You know, just as you're sitting right now, how many sensations can you truly feel on your body? I have sweat dripping down my legs, so that one's fun.
I hate the sweat drop. It's the worst.
It's fun when you're wearing sleeves. I'm not wearing too much clothing right now, so I can't feel too much of my clothing.
Ooh.
I can feel it a bit.
That's what we like, Jasmine. That's what we like.
Yep, I provide. I know what I'm here for. I know what I'm here for.
They're strapped.
But I always like to like feel like my sleeves on my skin, because that's when I usually check out of. But I've got carpet in my office, and so my feet are on the ground right now, so I can feel the carpet on my feet and my hair on my back. That one's a fun sensation.
I get my hair in my face and my ears. That one's not so fun. Or the headphones popping out of my ears, or I'm wearing a blanket at the moment, so it's like kind of like stiff and soft at the same time. And then there's this little itch in my belly button because I feel like there might be a particle of a plant sitting in there and it just can't come out.
Yeah,
Silly.
I've got a lot of blood rushing to certain parts of my feet because I was just sitting in a weird position. So it's like, like when you have like pressure on certain parts of your body and then you move it and it's just, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got fuzzy pants on, so I was pretty excited about that one. I was like, ooh, hi. I knew I was wearing you, but now I can really feel it.
I'm paying attention.
I've got a body. Okay.
Yada, 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 yada,
Yada,
yada, yada.
yada, yada,
Bruh,
yada.
I've been listening to that song on my way to work the last week, and fucking Megan Thee Stallion is not credited enough for these bangers. I mean, I know we all celebrate her bangers, but like, fuck, dude. Fuck. I'm all about it. I can feel what she's putting down. I'm just like, yes, girl. Anyway, body.
Adi. 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 Okay. Now let's take a few moments and I want you guys to see what you can taste.
I can literally taste rain.
Whoa, that's fun. Okay,
Agreed.
you're a witch.
That's also my like authority center in human design. So
Mm.
What does that mean? Elaborate. I'm not super literate on human design.
well, I think that anybody can have it, but like you can specifically tell when I'm like on the right path or doing whatever because I can taste. It's like palpable the things that I'm experiencing, and so it'll either leave me with a good taste in my mouth or a bad taste in my mouth.
Oh,
Or
cool.
oftentimes when I'm needing to like express myself, it'll be like that's a lot to chew on or things like that. So it's very like in my mouth centered.
That's weird because I kind of get that with my nose.
Aren't you the one with the Claire?
Yeah.
I want to call sentient, but that's not the right one.
Yeah, I think
Right.
it's
I think Aug
sentience.
I think it's Claire Augustins.
Hmm.
It's Claire. I can smell a lot.
Yeah,
Claire knows.
Claire
The
knows.
Claire knows.
The Claire
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah. Interesting. That's very
Mm-hmm.
cool.
You tasted anything, Ella?
Just old coffee.
Yeah, I mean, I've just got bagel taste in my mouth, so Jess definitely
Yeah.
wins. Hers is the most magical. But,
Yes.
it's one you
You're
can
queen of the mouth.
yeah, you definitely win. You had the
Heard
coolest
that
one.
one before.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like whenever my partner asks me how he'll say like, "How's your head?" and I'll say, "No complaints yet." He's always asking about like my migraines because I get them
Yeah.
often, but I just always turn it. I'll like still have the migraine, but I'll say no complaints yet because it's a blowjob joke. But anyway,
Hardy har har.
Fun.
he doesn't get it anytime, and I'll be like finger guns, like, come on, babe. No? Okay. All right. Well, maybe Ella will shine with this one because we're gonna see what we can smell. Ready, set, go. Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Jess is laughing. So
I
I'm gonna
had
make
a random. I had a random thought. Can't smell anything right now.
Okay. Fair enough. That's fine. That's fine. I I smelled like an old book, like a really old book, the way old books
Ooh.
smell, but it's ever so faintly,
Mm.
but I just kind of got like that hint in the air.
That's one of my favorite smells ever, is
Yeah.
just books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My kids are all book
Libraries.
sniffers now.
Hell yeah.
So libraries and like hardware stores, anywhere that sells like wood.
Mm.
Uh,
Love it.
Ayo.
Or tire shops. That smells good too. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, there's something about the like whatever it is that they're using. Yeah, I'm the
It's like
same
you just
way.
walk into any of those places and then you're just like, let me have it all.
Sniff it.
you're like, I need to ground.
I'm grounding.
I'm not even getting high off of this. I don't know why I love it so much.
Or maybe you are
High
Ground
on
tip.
knowledge.
high on air. I've got a nice breeze coming through my window, so I was smelling like just this like crisp, fresh air, like when you're walking in a forest and you step out to a clearing. And you're just like, air, so fresh and clean.
Oh, a breeze. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Trade winds.
Oh, trade winds. Oh,
Yeah.
love those.
That's why our houses a lot of them are on stilts. It's because it catches the trade winds and it cools the house down.
Oh, that's fun.
Mm-hmm. But that's also why, like, when it's cold here, like, it's fucking freezing because there is, like, nothing under my house and it's just cold air cooling down my whole house. So when it's 60 degrees here, it feels like 45 inside.
That's rough.
It actually is. People are always teasing us. They're like, "You live in Hawaii. It's not that cold." I'm like, "But my house is not built to be warm at all."
Mm. Yeah, when I lived in New Zealand, they just like didn't believe in central heat or
Yeah.
air. And and it did get down to 46 Fahrenheit in our house, and we were wrapped in blankets and you could see our breath. Like that it was rough.
Did you guys have a space heater?
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
but like it was like they didn't use space heaters. They used like ceramic like heating plates, which just
my
like
God.
so it doesn't blow air on you.
Oh my God,
You had
that's
to
so
you
funny.
had to like curl up next to it. It was pretty rough.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of island cultures really forego the central heating and cooling because they usually have, a good wind system, but then we all have like this affinity towards like space heaters and fans and blankets.
Mm-hmm.
Or like just in case the weather changes.
I used to love to put like a hot water bottle in my bed, but you had to put it in your bed like half an hour before you got in the bed, so it like toasted up before you hopped in. Although it did like leak one night when I was sleeping,
no.
and I have a scar from that because it was fucking boiling hot water just poured onto my leg.
Owie.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a deep burn, my dudes.
Oof.
A deep burn. All right. The last one we're going to do is the last sentence is sight, and so we're looking all the time, and especially because the three of us are in, our homes, we're in spaces that we're in all the time. I want you to look around and try to find some detail that you haven't seen before, something that you just haven't noticed. So this is going to help us ground and connect to the present moment more because we're really taking in our sights in a new way. We're like looking for something different, right? So let's do it.
There's clear plastic trash on my floor. That doesn't go there.
It's a good thing you found it. All right. I noticed that the paint is peeling at the bottom of the door. And yeah, I'd never noticed that before. First time seeing that. I used to do this one in the taco shop that I would go to every Tuesday after yoga, because sometimes it would be so packed and I'd have to wait quite a while for my tacos, and sometimes I just wouldn't want to be on my phone the whole time. So I'd be like, okay, let's try and find a detail in here I've never seen before. And yeah, sometimes it'd be like, well, there's a crack I've never seen over there.
I noticed the skeleton on top of my husband's TV is holding a little fish flag, like for Boys' Day.
Oh, cute. That's a fun little detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a fun one to do when you're out in public as well. Well, and like also just like that's a fun one to do on like commutes or like any kind of path you walk often, especially if it's like starting to get kind of boring. Just start trying to look for details that you haven't seen before. It's a good way to stay present and connect with your environment. And yeah, it can be used for grounding as well. So let's talk. So yeah, those are fun ways that we can like quickly ground, and it also can just help with general anxiety for sure. Here are a few other things that you can do as well. So let's quickly run through them. Walking barefoot in grass, in dirt, in mud. That's a very fun one if you are around mud. Sand, rocks. I mean, that could be a little treacherous, but go off. Having plants, taking care of plants, they have roots, and like rooting and grounding, pretty synonymous. So really tending for, loving, caring for plants is a way that you can just be continuously grounding in your life and in your practice. Meditating and imagining roots. So whether you're sitting in meditation or standing in meditation, part of that meditation incorporate the idea of roots extending from the part of your body that is connected to the ground. Now, I like to imagine that my roots are going all the way to the center of the earth, and that in the center of the earth there are reptilians, and the reptilians see my roots, and they lovingly tie my roots in a little knot to help keep me grounded on the earth. So, in this imagery in my mind, in this storyline, in this little bit of whimsy, if you will, they are kind reptilian creatures in the center of the earth. But I love a little bit of whimsy. But do with this meditation what you will. But I just thought I'd share a little bit there.
I love you.
But yeah, we've definitely talked about, these kinds of things many times before. But even if you live in a city, if you just find a patch of grass, if you go to a park, and if you can just take off your shoes and stand barefoot, lay in the grass, close your eyes for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, oh, just kidding. As long as you want, lay there, imagine some roots, literally feel what it feels like, the sensation of the earth on your skin. It's an amazing tool to use in your spiritual practice and should be utilized often. So go out there and do it.
When you were first getting into that, though, it made me think of the album title from Blink-182, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. Which could be another grounding technique, depending on who you are.
Oh my God, I just got that. That didn't make any, I didn't get the double meaning until just now when you said that.
Oh gosh. Because on that album, it's a picture of like shoes, an airplane, and a jacket.
Well, yeah, I just thought it was like take off your pants and jacket, like clothing items. And now I'm like, oh, take off your pants and jacket.
Duh. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see it. And yeah.
Oh, I am a hardcore Blink fan, so I've known that one for a while.
Thanks for enlightening me.
That's right.
All right, you guys, we will be back next week. We are going to keep teaching you stuff about spiritual hygiene. We'll be getting into it next week with Jess, so you won't want to miss it. But make sure to keep up with what we are doing on Instagram at Power of 3 Podcast. Send us an email with any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, or any kind of chit chat at Power of 3 Witch Podcast at gmail.com. And we will catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.